Hey, man. This is try number 2. Welcome to Real Brave Live, man. Every Wednesday here at 1 o'clock, Real Brave Live. Welcome to the show. Today we're doing International Guitar Month, the most insane, greatest, best riffs of all time, according to some person.
Yep.
We're going to talk about that today. Real Brave, if you didn't know already, which you should, shame on you if you don't, is a music school. And we have an online program that is far and away one of the greatest things that has ever happened. It's called Practice Pad. And you can sign up today. We built it ourselves. Practice Pad is a online video classroom that we built. You can meet a teacher right from this area, and we can teach you music. Let me tell you a little bit more about that. So Practice Pad, it's got teaching apps in there, and you can learn your favorite music, and we can help you find your stage. You can sign up today by replying or clicking, but also smashing that bell as hard as you can.
Really hard. Go to
it.
Home Depot, buy yourself an impact drill, and just drill that bell button.
Every single week we're doing this, 1 Eastern, and you can get notifications about this show and have a good time with us. Because we care about you,
We love
viewer.
you. We love you very much.
Because we don't like doing this. We care about you, though.
Yeah, this is totally a selfless thing.
Everything we do here is about you, as Brian Adams said, or paraphrased.
And repeated here on Real Brave Live.
It's good. I like that. That was fun. Second time was better.
Yeah.
Kevin, what is a riff?
A riff is a short melody played on the guitar. I was prepared that time.
Okay.
Generally, it's a melody. It's just like a series of notes. It could be single notes. It could be like harmony notes. Like that's a riff there. When we think about riffs in guitar class, we think about the iconic ones. We think about the ones that everybody knows, and many of which do not appear on this list that we're about to go into.
This list is comprehensive.
Yeah. That's
one word for it?
That's one way to describe it.
What other way would you describe it, Kevin?
Short.
Okay.
There's 10 of them, and I've taught, I think, 7.
All right.
7 of them.
We had a learning moment with one of them today. All right. Well, the word riff, riffing, riffs.
Rift is an album by the Vermont-based jam band The Fish. It's spelled with a PH. It's a great album. There's actually a song called Riff, too, on that album. It goes, that's the riff from Rift.
They're very cute, those Vermont-based jam band people.
Such cuties.
Riffing. So riffs is a repeated sequence of notes or chords that appears in a piece of music, man. A guitar riff is often catchy and gives structure and character to a piece of music. And riffs commonly appear in rock, funk, jazz, and Latin music, though they can be found in almost any genre of music, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that this Chopin Opus 9 number 2.
That would not be in my world.
Yeah.
That I live in, that is a piece of classical music.
Yeah, I mean, it's melody.
It's melody, but it's not a repeated sequence. Like, give me a riff. Come on, give me a good riff. Nothing on this list, though.
Nothing on this list. Here's a riff.
Oh, I need a tambourine. Okay. Suck it to me, suck it to me, suck it to me, suck it to me, suck it to me. So that's a riff. It's repeated, it's memorable, it's catchy, it makes you go like this. It makes you want to pick up a tambourine. So that is a riff, and it could be.
That is one of the criteria. Is it has to make you want to pick up a tambourine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or dance, or shake your booty.
We're
shake what your
narrowing
mama
the
gave
definition as we go, and I think that's fine.
Okay.
It's appropriate.
So this is in no general order. Is this in order?
10 to 1, or
we're gonna go.
I don't think they're.
No order, and it's from a couple different lists. So.
Okay.
Oh, it's a list.
So we can blame Maddie for this.
Compilation list.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll blame Maddie for this comprehensive list.
Oof. All right.
So number 12, we'll just go through this quickly. Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh, that's a fun one. That's the one that goes.
Yeah.
drums. And that's
I need a drum.
that's
I
the
don't have a
basic
drum.
gist of
Yeah.
it.
With we went over his guitar last week. He didn't use this guitar though. The Mang Stang,
You
Jazz
use
Stang.
the Jag Stang on,
Jag
on
Stang.
Smells Like Teen Spirit?
This supercharged Cobain riff inspires and some anarchy or a sense of fury and power. Well, yeah, and it was also taken off of a Pixies song. We went over this last week. Pixies. It was inspired by the Pixies.
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's 4 power chords, and it's one of the most memorable because of the time, him, and yeah. I mean, does it belong in the most recognizable riffs of all time? It could be argued.
Yeah, I would.
You would
I would
argue it?
that. There's so many though.
I know.
You have to be really selective. It was 9th among 500 greatest songs of all time, Rolling Stone list.
Thanks. Yep. Thanks, Kurt. Number 11, Back in Black, not Back to Black. Back in Black by AC/DC. Your favorite.
No, that's this one. That's the one that goes.
Ooh. You got a little delay on there.
It's a lot of delay.
All right. Well,
Sorry.
you don't like AC/DC. Famously.
It's not. I mean, it's not that I don't like.
Famously. Very famous for that.
I just don't like Brian Wilson. Not Brian Wilson. Brian. What's his name? Johnson.
Johnson. Yeah.
I just his voice to me is one of the worst sounds.
It's a style of singing.
And is it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Because most made famous by Robert Plant.
No.
Yeah.
Do not.
All right, so I'm a huge Led Zeppelin fan, not AC/DC AC/DC fan. And here's
Samesies.
why I'm going to say that. Because he's using me as his like the top of it. He's more head voice.
Robert Plant didn't shriek. that wasn't his shtick. Was shrieking. Robert Plant sang like an angel,
Sang like an angel.
almost, exclusively.
I don't know if I can do this here because I don't necessarily warm up. It might sound like I'm shrieking.
Yeah,
Like a banshee.
it's hard to do a good
It's hard
Robert
to do.
Plant.
But he uses this back in black.
Yeah, that's
That thing.
yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's not like chess. And I'm not a big like vocal person, but that's what they're using. And Robert Plant kind of does something similar. Yeah.
But he was.
Yeah.
But he was at least melodic, and it. I don't know. There was a melodicism associated with it. I mean, I get it. Like, rock music, you want to be like aggressive and
Okay.
like anarchist or whatever. But like, come on.
All right. You hate AC/DC.
Come on
Fine.
already. And you know what? It started a trend of that. So I would argue that Robert Plant is, he was more melodic, but like Brian Johnson started this trend of like a lot of like metal bands, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think you were here when we did the concert, and I did Shout at the Devil. I fronted one of our students who was the drum student, and he had
you
a house
sang
band.
it.
I was in the house band. I sang Shout at the Devil.
It's terrible.
It was really painful to both execute myself and listen to as an audience. So,
They got their money's worth that day.
I guess.
But as far as Back in Black, the riff,
yeah. It's an iconic riff. I mean, it's 3 power chords.
Angus Young,
Yeah.
great guitarist or not a great guitarist?
Great guitarist.
Okay, you don't seem enthralled.
I mean, it's
Famous. He's a famous guitarist who famously
Famous
has
guitarist.
riffs like that are memorable.
Yeah, he was good at putting out those hooks.
Deserving to be in this top 12?
No.
Okay. Number 10, Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay. Yeah, I know this one. Actually, little story after this.
Yeah.
I really like the verse though.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, favorite part of that is the solo.
Oh, he does tapping over the bend?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I actually figured that out like recently because I used to go like. Oh, yeah. but that's not what it is. It's and there was a point where I thought it was with a whammy bar, but there's no whammy on that flying V, that polka dot flying V. So I don't think there is.
And if you want to know what that guitar looks like, I think we went over it last week.
It might have been on there. It is
Yeah.
pretty
We did.
iconic guitar.
Please go to last week's whatever and go look at it.
When I was in 7th grade, I was obsessed with that song. My band in 7th grade played that at. It wasn't even a
Tell me
battle
more.
of the bands. It was a talent show, and I played it very differently. I did. I think I played it like.
Yeah, of course you did.
Like a way more simple version of it, but it got the point across.
Yeah, people were like very supportive and happy that you played the song.
That song was, maybe about 2 years ago. That the riff on it, or at least the main, was remixed as like a Lil Jon.
Ooh, yes.
Lil Jon tune.
Maddie?
I'll do fact check on this.
And more recently, Post Malone just figured out who Ozzy Osbourne was.
Oh boy.
And he got on Twitter, like, yo, you guys hear about this Ozzy Osbourne guy? And then people were like, no, wow, Post Malone really put Ozzy Osbourne guy on the map.
I'm doing that too. That was like with Kanye West and.
Ozzy would have never made it without Post Malone.
Seriously.
Yeah. Kanye West did that with Paul McCartney.
Did he really?
I think it was more tongue in cheek. While we're waiting on that, so yeah, Crazy Train from the album Blizzard of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Don Albert, huge fan. Mm-hmm. If you know who Don Albert is. And
Was Mr. Crowley on that album? No, because
Mr. Crowley was
because there was Black Sabbath, and then there was Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, it's called "Let's Go" by Lil Jon,
Yeah,
sampling "Crazy Train."
sounds about right.
Lil Jon and Trick Daddy.
Trick Daddy. Yep. For you theory buffs out there, you'll know that that's a riff in the mode of F-sharp Aeolian.
I was gonna say this is in Diary of a Madman, but it is in Blizzard of Oz. The song is inspired by Aleister Crowley. Okay, didn't know that. All right, Aleister. Sorry.
You're talking about Mr. Crowley there.
Yeah.
That was one of the ones that happened in our TikTok concert, which we'll talk about a little bit more in
Yes,
depth.
we will. Let's not forget.
Yes.
Crazy Train has stood strong on the airwaves for almost 30 years, and it is a popular must-learn. Fun fact: that's one of the first riffs I ever learned.
Sames.
I guess it's like a standard, right?
Yeah.
It's like it is. None shall pass unless you learn this song.
Right.
Or riff.
It's one of those rites of passage.
It is. Number 9 on the 12 most iconic guitar riffs in the history of mankind is Walk This Way.
Oh, yeah. Whoa, let me do that better. It's another one where the verse is really cool. The verse is actually more difficult to play than that main.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
What's more iconic in that song, or more memorable, that or the drum riff? It's the and then what's even more memorable is that, or for me anyway, personally my favorite is the Run DMC version.
That was the shoop, shoop, shoop. Yeah, it's a good one.
Because it really goes right to what Run and hip hop was doing at the time anyway. Because the way that Steven Tyler was singing. But yeah, the riff is the riff. It's amazing.
And it opened the door for like Limp Bizkit, my favorite band.
Number 8. Why?
That's
2 weeks in a row we talked about Limp Bizkit.
Really?
Yeah. 2 separate people.
Really?
Yeah, Mike had a story about Fred Durst.
I missed
it was
that.
It took up like 10 minutes of the whole
Oh
broadcast.
man, I gotta go back and watch that.
Yeah.
Where can I do that? Facebook.com/RealBraveInc.
That's it.
Smash the like button.
Hit it with
that
your guitar
bell.
like Peter Townsend would.
You can see 2, not 1, but 2 mentions of Fred Durst terrible human being. And actually, Mike's story is really funny.
Fred, if you're watching, thanks so much for being a fan of the show, and
Yeah.
we'd love your endorsement and
Yeah.
to come on and interview you.
Thanks for ruining red Yankee hats for everybody.
I don't think. I mean, okay. Red ball caps. Rearranged is a great Limp Bizkit song.
No, nothing about them is good. I'm just drawing a line in the
It's a
sand.
good bass riff.
Nope. I don't even want to listen to it. I'm just gonna pretend that none of it's good.
All right,
I'm
well,
gonna be that person.
I'm not gonna push too hard like I do with the other band that
No
I
fish you could do. That's fine.
Okay.
I would never do that to you.
Okay.
Number 8. Iron Man.
Yeah. This is the one I always get confused about. Isn't it in B? I think it is.
Yes, it is.
As he lost his mind. Actually, as he lost his mind. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But you got to sing it like this. Has he lost his mind? Ozzy's the best. Talk about crazy, losing your mind.
This is the second consecutive one? The consecutive Ozzy riff we mentioned?
Well, it's with Black Sabbath.
Oh,
and Ozzy
no.
Osbourne.
We went Walk This Way with me.
Yeah. So Black Sabbath, there is probably the thing I love about Black Sabbath is that they're the precursor to this heavy metal stuff that we're all familiar with now. You can also argue Led Zeppelin, but this guitar riff is just about the heaviest, darkest stuff from that time.
Yeah. It's
If you listen to that whole album, it's dark.
It's another one that's another Aeolian riff.
Ooh, Aeolian. What's that, Kevin? You want to turn yourself up a little bit?
Yeah,
so
that's the
folks at home can hear
natural.
it?
That's a natural minor, which is in terms. If you frame it in the major, you got 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6,
Yeah.
flat 7, 1. Also down here. Really like that sound. All about that Aeolian.
Thanks, Kevin. And folks, if you're keeping track at home, that's a perfect way to ruin any song is to talk about what makes it.
Yeah, it's like dissecting a frog. Like
Yeah.
you get to know what the frog's made of.
We love the frog.
But you killed the frog in the process. But yeah, no, it's great. Great riff. I was surprised. I remember like learning that was like being younger and learning that was what was considered heavy metal at one point. And I was like, really? It's not that heavy, you know.
It's dark now.
It's
about as dark as it can get.
Yeah, it's gotten way heavier since.
What's that music that just like it's like moaning music? It's just like.
Well, there's all sorts of metal now. There's black metal. There's death metal.
Can you hear that?
There's other metal.
Gregorian chant metal.
There's Gregorian chant metal, which I didn't know until just now. Thank you, Maddie. There's
I want to hear Gregorian chant metal. That's
speed metal. That's another one.
Well, I would argue that what made Ozzy metal was him eating a bat on stage.
by
Definitely
mistake.
gained a lot of notoriety, and in today's age would get a lot of followers on
Yeah.
social.
No, he would be canceled by PETA.
I got an idea.
You're gonna do that?
Yeah,
Oh God.
but like a cooked bat.
No.
Why?
Because
Rabies?
everything, just everything you're not supposed to do. You know,
What about a baseball bat?
just jump into lava if you're gonna do that, so that we can contain you. At least you'll be gone.
Bat flavored lava?
Number 7, appearing twice in this list, arguably one of the most famous rock and roll bands of all time, the Rolling Stones with I Can't Get No Satisfaction.
Nope.
Oh, yeah,
Something like that.
something like
I
that.
forget
That's
what key
better.
it's
At
in.
least we're not going to get flagged.
Yeah.
Yeah, this catchy riff came to Keith Richards in a dream.
Come on.
It happens. A lot of things happen in dreams.
Come on. With that.
No, yesterday. Came to Paul McCartney in a dream. And he started singing, and the original lyrics were scrambled eggs. I can't do it in the key. Yeah, I can. Scrambled eggs. Yep. Anyway, so yeah, it came to him in a dream. Apparently he woke up, grabbed his guitar, tape recorder, played the run-up notes once, and promptly fell back to Sleepyland. Yeah, took another life in the studio where, yeah, blah, blah, blah.
It's 3 notes. What? How you dream about 3 notes? No, you picked up the guitar and you went, what about this one here? And then Mick Jagger's like, I love that. That's the #1 hit single right there. That's my best British accent.
That's pretty good. Pretty good on the spot.
Famously, speaking of dreams and like famous things, there's was it the way the Beatles became named is there was a
came to him in a dream.
And John Lennon dreamt of a guy
flaming
sitting
pie
on a flaming pie, and this guy said, "You'll be named the Beatles."
We were just a band. That's spot on.
That's great.
All right, we're just a band. This is the best one I can.
If you're watching from across the pond, please don't report us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to get some friends from across the pond, and every single time I talk to them, I want to speak in my American British accent, and I just
offensive. I'm so glad you don't
rein
do
it
that.
in. Just every time somebody says, "Hey, it was rubbish," and I'm just like, "Oh, I want to say it with you."
I know. It's really tempting. It's great. Sounds
so
great.
tempting. Me knickers. So, number 6, "Can't Hear Me Knocking." The Rolling Stones coming at you live. The Rolling Stones can't hear me knocking.
That's all I learned.
So I don't know why this. I mean, it's recognizable, but
I had
don't
to look it up. I forgot how.
Yeah, we didn't know what we forgot.
Yeah. And I want to say that 2 Rolling Stones songs on this list, 0 Beatles songs on this list.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Yes. Yeah, that was one of my notes here.
And yeah, so far as the Beatles go, there's so many. There's so many that could be on here.
He uses open tuning, Keith Richards.
Yeah, he uses a D tuning. It's like D, A,
But I mean,
D, G.
Oh, really?
A, D. I think it's like a country tuning, which makes sense because a lot of his riffs are like very country influenced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From across the pond.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot to say about the song.
Yeah, me neither. It's another rock.
It's not
song.
one of my favorites. I don't know why it's on here. How many? How many?
I like
Rolling
the rhythm
Stones
of that. The down. Syncopated 1 2 3 1 2 1 2. Dun, 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 dun. I like that.
There's
Hey, our lava lamp is kicked in.
little baby Kevin.
Yeah.
Start Me Up. Something like that. Or you got Sympathy for the Devil. Give Me Shelter. Wild Horses.
Mm-hmm.
You can always get what you want. Honky Tonk Woman. I mean, all of these are probably, they had to pick one. They picked Can't Hear Me Knocking. Paint It Black. Paint It Black. Come on. Dude!
Who are we blaming on this?
Are we blaming Maddie?
Maddie.
Hey, you sent me the list. You sent me the link. You know.
Wait, how does
I agree with you guys. I was just looking at the list. So.
Okay.
Paint It Black, right? You
Paint It
remember how to play
Black
that?
is
I don't know how to play that. Here comes that relative pitch. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, did we get it taken down yet?
No, we're still going.
Okay. All right, so then we're getting into top 5. This one I don't agree with. So whoever put this in here is a Green Day fan.
Oh, okay.
When I Come Around.
Wait for it. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. Wait, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me.
Oh wait, so do it again. So no, it's in G.
Well, I think it's in G.
C.
Well, Let It Be is in C.
Okay.
But I think actually When I Come Around is in G flat.
It is. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it. It's on number 5.
I feel like there's more iconic Green Day riffs. One of them featured in our TikTok concert. Check us out on TikTok at Real Brave Inc. Vote for your favorite. We'll talk about it in a minute. But what was it? It was a.
I just argued that's a really great chord progression.
It is, yeah.
That's Basket Case?
Basket Case, yeah.
I would say that American Idiot is probably the most famous one.
Yeah, it's more recent. There's also. Which is a ripoff of, not a ripoff, but Chicago.
Ooh, 25, 64, 28, 65, 72, 82, 92, hike! It's great. It's great. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Number 4, we learned something today.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. Manish Boy by Muddy Waters. So we were like, what is this? We can't remember. And then Kevin started playing it. And you just thought it was...
Just a generic blues riff.
But it's not. It's somebody, a very famous guitarist. And
but it's also a generic blues riff. You listen to like a lot of blues music, you know, you'll hear eventually somewhere in there, it'll just manifest itself. Well, you just hear that.
So the implication here is that he created that riff? Or that's what they're intending with these words that I just spoke out of my mouth that are now put onto the Facebooks?
I mean, you know, you could say that he discovered it. But that's like 4-1, flat 3-1. Like there's that, you know.
I guess.
There are WC pieces that follow that. There's, you know, Beethoven.
Rhythmically not though.
Boom, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, triple
WC.
1. Comes back to you can't own a chord progression, you can't own a melody, you can't. I mean, I guess you could own a melody.
Take that, BMI.
Yeah. Speaking of copyrights and actually no, let's go through the rest of this list and then we'll talk about.
Well, yeah. So one of the most recognizable blues guitar riffs that we've Griffs, Manish Boy has been covered by countless artists, including in the classics of blues recordings, included in the classics of blues recordings. I can read. Yeah. A category in the Blues Hall of Fame, which I've never been to. Where is that?
I would guess Memphis.
Okay.
We'll do a fact check.
Where is the Blues Hall of Fame?
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh, open maps. Temporary closed museum. Memphis, Tennessee.
Very good.
Thanks,
you win.
Siri. This is the first time Siri is actually like delivered.
Yeah.
For me.
I'm sorry. Did you say poopy pop pop?
Yeah, I did. Wow, that's impressive.
All right. Number 3, Mr. David Bowie. The Bowie. Yeah, in the early 70s, glam rock era hit London, which is funny because like I look at the glam rock era as the 80s, but whatever. But it's true. By bringing extravagant stage shows and flamboyant makeup and hairstyles to the rock scene. On this song, Bowie seems to define the genre with lyrics telling the story of a young boy who revolts against his parents by wearing feminine clothing. Rebel, rebel.
I really like the chords here.
Why? Because it's going to D to E?
Yeah, it's D to E, but that's a sort of an esoteric motion.
Such a good word. Esoteric. Such
Typically,
a good word.
you know, when you've got E and D somewhere together, it's like firmly rooted in E. Like this is home base, and we might go to flat 7, but E is 1. And this is, it flips it. You got D on 1. And so when it's E on 1, you've actually got the E Mixolydian mode, which is a fairly accessible mode, especially if you're a fan of blues or rock. It's kind of everywhere. It's a major mode with flat 7. But if you're in D, and you've got an E major, that kind of frames D as the 1, and E is the major 2, which typically 2s are minor, so you actually end up with the D Lydian mode.
Are you happy?
I love talking about theory and
I
notes.
know. That's why I let you go. And there's somebody out there that's going, yeah.
So I don't know if what part in the song it changes to like the bridge or something, and it kind of puts it all in context there, or if it's one of those songs that just kind of repeats that.
It goes to an A at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, which in the context of D and E, that's just Ionian. That's your A major.
Yeah.
They both exist.
We were talking about pitch, perfect pitch, and relative pitch before this, because I just said I think it goes to an A, and I was right. So I don't have perfect pitch. I have relative pitch. It's kind of like I understand, I can hear it. I don't know what it is, but there are people out there, right? Kevin was talking about Dorian mode and like how it goes to all these different things, and it makes like a super flaming pie of awesome. They just understand that, but there's another class of talent that I don't understand. That's perfect pitch.
It's an innate gift that I think it's something like 1% of people are born with.
That's a very small percent. I don't have it.
I think it might even be less than that. There's Wolfpack recordings of where they're on stage and there goes, "Hey, who in the audience has perfect pitch?" And you hear like a lot of people cheer, and he goes, "Statistically, that's not right. That's wrong."
So that perfect pitch, about 1 in 10,000 people have perfect pitch.
Yeah, and I'm not one. I'm one of the 999 billion people that don't have it.
0.01%.
Yeah, it's hard, and we have a couple students here that have it. It's extraordinary. I've met somebody recently that has it, 3.5-year-old child. Not met, but heard about. So me talking about, I think that's an A. That person would be like, it's an A. Like they will just know it, and it's actually, now in my opinion, it can hold the musician back, because let's say if you want, I knew a perfect pitch person who needed everything to resolve. Everything had to resolve.
I think I mean...
It's like, no, it's supposed to go to the A. It's not supposed to end on the 4 chord. Come on.
That might be like more OCD than having perfect pitch. I mean, maybe it's exacerbated by perfect pitch.
Oh, so you don't think that the two go hand in hand?
No, because I mean, there's a lot of artistic value in things not resolving.
Well, I want it to not resolve.
Right.
He wanted to resolve.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with
that.
That
could have just been like a difference of taste.
It just broke up the band, man. Whatever. Well, I don't know why I interjected with all that stuff.
Yesterday, not scrambled eggs. But I really like scrambled eggs.
I love scrambled eggs. Yes, Rebel Rebel is a great song. David Bowie, rest in peace. Number 2 and number 1, we're down to that. So we've got number 2, the greatest guitar riff of all time.
No, this wasn't a list in order.
According to Maddie. We're going to blame Maddie now.
Thanks, Maddie.
Thanks, Maddie. Ruined everything. Get to do this. Yeah.
I actually really like the solo in that.
Iconic. Great vocals, great drums. Many, many years ago. It's 40 years old.
Wow.
What? That's crazy.
It is a staple in guitar pedagogy. I remember going to Ackerman's Music Center in Midland Park. They're no longer open there.
Really?
Yeah. I think they moved to Wyckoff, but I don't know.
Yeah,
if
they're in
still
Wyckoff. Okay, I thought they closed for good.
But when I took lessons there, it was in Midland Park, and there were these like dank rooms in the basement. And I still remember Fred. Long curly hair, long fingernails. I guess he played classical music too. Showed me, he's like, "Hey kid, sit back, watch this one." And I was like, "Wow, cool!"
Yeah, it sounds so cool, right?
And then, 20 years and 1,000 times teaching that later, it's still a good riff.
Okay. Yeah.
Appears twice in our TikTok concert.
There's a little tidbit here.
Oh, it's about I haven't read it, but is it about something about Frank Zappa
Yeah.
and the Mothers of Invention?
Something like that. You want to tell a story?
Burning down. Yeah, the song is about Frank. So the band Deep Purple was on tour or something like that, and they were staying on the lake. There was like a lake where across the lake, Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention, who were also on tour, shot off like a flare gun somewhere in the hotel, and the hotel burned down. And yeah. Frank Zappa's career continued because he was Frank Zappa.
He would have been canceled.
He would have been so done in 2021.
Yeah, like somebody, like Paul McCartney on Twitter would have been like, "You're so cancelled. I'm not going to be there anymore for you." And then Led Zeppelin would tweet, like, "You're done."
We should have just
be memes.
Stop Twitter. Just stop it.
Yeah. And Richie Blackmore famously is in Black Sabbath. Yes. Sure. No.
I don't know.
I got that right.
Was Richie Blackmore in Black Sabbath?
I think I got that wrong. Somebody's watching this right now.
On the web.
Founding members of Deep Purple.
Yeah, he was in Deep Purple.
In Deep Purple? I'm sorry. So yeah, it actually describes this here. So it's actually playing fourths. That's what this says.
So the song's in G minor.
Yeah.
With some modal mixture somewhere in there, especially by the chorus. Smoke on the water. A mixture to G Phrygian, but the riff, if it's in G, here's the G string. And you could argue that also having the D string playing that's not the melody, that's the harmony. And up from that D is a fourth to G. But if G is the root, then it's really root and fifth. So fourth and fifths are reciprocal in harmony, whether you're ascending or descending, and depending on what the roots are. So like also thirds and sixths, also seconds and sevenths. So yeah, I mean it's the root and the fifth playing that, but the fifth is below the root, hence it's a fourth down from G.
Thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome.
I was thinking of Tony Iommi, not Richie Blackmore. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tony Iommi, Black Sabbath. I know a lot of people were curious about that. Oh, 2 people watching. One of them's me.
One of them's me.
To monitor. Oh, to monitor the comments. Okay. All right. Well, I know we were both curious about that, so I'm glad I was able to.
Please omit my Richie Blackmore comment.
Okay.
And coming in at number 1, the most famous guitar riff of all time, according to one person,
Maddie.
The Temptations.
Yep. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. It's hard to sing and play that at the same
Yeah, it's
time.
really hard.
My Girl.
Just like a C major scale.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not in C though. Is that like a Dorian thing?
That is a pentatonic scale.
Pentatonic thing?
Nope, it's a Yeah, it is the major pentatonic scale.
Wow.
So that's probably the correct way to play it.
Have you ever been in a room with musicians writing songs? It's somebody just like riffing. And so over and over again, it's just somebody playing something, and then someone goes, "That right there is pretty good. What is it? What you got there?" And then the person goes, "I don't know. I was just playing this." And then the singer walks in like a jerk and starts singing over it.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
Yeah, and the drummer is just kind of
The drummer's not doing anything. All you drummers out there.
showing up late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Temptations' first number 1 hit, My Girl.
Yeah.
It's one of the most famous riffs of all time. And according to this, is the most famous. But this leaves out so many things. So many. I guess there's just too many to leave out. How do you take 60 years, 80 years, 100,000 years of rock riffs, 330,000 years of rock riffs?
I would argue that this is the most famous riff of all time.
You're not allowed to play it anywhere. That's how many times it's been played.
Come get me, Zeppelin. I'm teaching that right now to one of our students.
I know, I hear it all the time.
You hear it every
I
Tuesday,
do.
right?
That's why I send you those memes.
Yeah.
I send Wayne's World meme.
Yeah.
All right. Nowhere in here is there a Jimmy.
Oh, there's none of this? There's none of that.
None of that.
There's none of this. Oop. Also featured in our TikTok concert.
Yeah.
There's none of there's none of this. There's none of that.
None of that.
That's one of the most
Clapton,
famous
Sir
ones.
Elton Clapton.
Yep.
Sir Elton Clapton.
Yep. There's
Just take the show away
There's
from me.
no Sir Elton Clapton. None of that. I got a student who wants to learn that. Check with their parents first.
Yeah, that's a good idea. How do you do that, by the way?
Yeah,
Johnny wants to learn.
So I had a student who wanted to learn a Kiss tune one time, and Kiss, they're dated, but there's a lot of imagery in Kiss. So the parent pulled up to pick up a little so and so and said, "Hey, so he really wants to learn." I forget what Kiss tune it was, but there's a lot of good Kiss riffs out there too.
Yeah,
I don't know any of them. And she was like, "Oh yeah, cool. He probably heard us listening to it." So.
Okay, so then it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of imagine the '80s. I kind of imagine honestly my mom.
Yeah.
Remember that? Do you ever remember the movie "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker"?
No.
Okay. It was a Damon Wayans. It's one of the Wayans, the oldest Wayans, Marlon Wayans, somebody Wayans.
Okay.
Movie.
John
and
Wayne?
It was no, John Wayans.
John Wayne's. Okay. Lil John Wayne's.
I had a point to this. Oh yeah, so it was an R-rated movie. She wanted me to see it. I snuck out and I saw it. Got in big trouble because I found out about it. I don't know how. I don't remember. I think I lied bad. And they were relatively strict. So when they heard songs that had the F-bomb in it or something like that, they were just kind of like, "Well, what are you listening to, young man?" So today it's pretty commonplace to have that stuff happening and naughtiness and all that stuff. But parents are still looking through the music, or no? I don't know. Probably not, right?
I mean, so.
We're kind of just whatever, man. Just don't play it in front of people.
When
at this point,
when we were buying tapes or CDs,
yeah.
After I think 1985, 89, they put the little explicit parental warning on
it was
there.
a big deal.
Yeah, and that grossly inhibited my access to the coolest music.
Yeah.
But I remember getting in trouble for borrowing my friend's copy of Dr. Dre Chronic 2001.
I've heard this one.
And burning it onto a tape cassette. I got in very big trouble.
Burning it.
Yeah.
No less.
Yeah.
Trouble for this
I didn't get in trouble from the RCAA, but
Yeah.
I got in trouble from my mom.
Didn't they call it dubbed?
Dubbed?
Yeah. Or I dubbed it. You didn't call it that?
No.
You called it burned?
Yeah.
Burned would be CD, no?
Well, I burned a tape cassette.
Recorded?
Copied. Pirated. Arr.
We are up at the top of the hour here. We are done. We've successfully talked about 12 of the most famous guitar riffs of all time, agreed upon by most experts. Just not on this stage.
Yeah, right.
So what do you think of that, Kevin?
I think there's no Beatles on this. I think there's no Zeppelin on this, which, by the way, and also, I haven't played these in a long time.
But you get the point.
Yeah, there's
No
no
Zeppelin.
Zeppelin, no Beatles, no Clapton.
No Metallica.
There's two. There's two.
Yeah, keep going.
The ones. You know the ones.
The Rolling Stones.
There's two The Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
There's one
Prince of Dead Air.
Green Day. Fresh Prince of Dead Air, thanks.
Green Day is a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nod. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, so, I don't know, viewer, if you're out there, who do you think?
Yes.
What riffs are most iconic to you? there's a comment below. Comment below on what you think is the most iconic
Below.
guitar riffs.
Below.
Yeah. We'll look at them and maybe we'll like them and comment also.
Yes, please do that. So comment below, what do you think the greatest guitar riffs that we had left out of all time are, and not necessarily in that best English order.
Right.
Every week we ask you to join us.
Yeah.
And you never do.
Right.
But you do come later, which is great.
Yeah.
I like that.
Do
Thank
watch
you
us
so much
later.
for that.
Yeah. So you can see us Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. Hit that.
Smash it.
Destroy that bell. I have a question. Are bells? Are there bells on Facebook, or is that just a YouTube thing?
That's for YouTube.
That's only for YouTube.
No, there's a little belly bell thing.
I'm not so sure about
Is there a
that.
notification bell?
Maybe that's why nobody.
Yeah, we're talking about the wrong thing.
Hit that.
Smash it.
Go to your settings.
Yeah.
Scroll down
Smash
to
your
notifications.
settings. No, if you're watching this, there's a notifications banner button.
No, there is a notification bell on Facebook.
Thank you.
But that's like your alerts when stuff happens.
Smash it.
Anyway.
Make it like they broke the Liberty Bell. Put a giant crack in it.
Put a
Right.
giant crack in it. Please
Fill it in.
follow us, like us, Real Brave Inc., Insta, Facebook, and TikTok.
TikTok. So something really cool is happening on
Go
TikTok
ahead.
right now.
Let's close with that.
So speaking of all sorts of riffs and great playing, we have right now going on live right now on TikTok a contest, our own virtual TikTok concert. So we haven't done a concert at Real Brave in over a year, and our students were itching to perform. So they sent us submissions. We backed them with a band.
Yep.
We produced them, sound, video, posted them to TikTok, minute each. And you, viewer, can go over to tiktok.com/RealBraveInc.
Sure.
At Real Brave Inc.
Or just
on TikTok.
download the app and then get addicted, and then after a stupor of TikTok, go to @RealBraveInc.
Right.
Yeah, or go to Real Brave Inc. Search Real Brave Inc.
Yeah, and vote for your favorite, the one with the most likes and shares. Likes and
maybe go
shares, or
TikTok.
just likes?
It's likes, shares, and comments.
And comments. Okay, so
Someone is absolutely. It's close,
It's somebody is.
but
There's a narrow lead.
there's one person that's running away with it right now.
Yeah. We're not going to tell you who. You can go and find out for yourself. They got some chops, though. In fact,
Yes.
all of the students who have participated are extremely talented, and it's great. It's a really great stuff. There's some really entertaining ones on there. Just really talented individuals, and Real Brave staff. So.
Yeah, and you have to download the app. I can't get it on here.
Yeah,
There's
so
no
just-
/Real Brave Inc.
It's 2021. If you don't already have a TikTok, what are you doing? You're probably like me, who didn't have a TikTok until a couple days ago.
I watched your TikTok. It was good.
You saw my TikTok?
I did.
You see Theo?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, my TikTok is just going to be pictures of my cat,
I think you should do it. You can do a whole thing on there with your cat talking. We'll do a TikTok episode some other time. I have beef. But anyway, that's the show. Next week, join us for another exciting episode as we continue to celebrate this thing. International Guitar Month here at Real Brave, and every week for the next at least week.
Kevin, can you close us out with the roundabout riff?
Oh yeah, this other iconic riff.
You know the.
Yes, let's go. We'll take it out with that. Please join us next week for another exciting episode of Real Brave Live, where we'll talk about more guitar, stuff around the guitar, guitarists, people that guitarimosos. We'll maybe talk about drinks that are in guitars, and other stuff like that. Like us at Real Brave Inc. on TikTok when you get a chance, and Kevin, take us out.
Real Brave Live.